So thank you everyone for joining. We'll do the one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra first, and then we will do other things. Correct? So let's begin. I'll quickly get my bead bag also. So few devotees can start. Jai Shri Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vaishnavi Jai Shri Krishna
Jai
Prabhu
Shri Krishna
Nityananda Shri
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Gadadhar Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda
Jai Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya
Krishna Hare
Prabhu
Krishna
Nityananda
Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare.
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare.
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram.
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna.
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram.
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram.
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai. Can you all hear me well? Good. So I see Ayush, Isha, Avni, Vedehi, Arna, Vinita, Navya, Sahas. Is your hand raise working? Thank you for turning your camera on. Lakshay, rest all are off camera. Krishna, Rama, Nishita, Athar, Prapti, Haley, Ishan, Maheshwari, Sampada, Ovi, Mishti, Ethereal, Jashit, and Binayak. Where is Biraj? Are you both together?
Yes, Roji.
Good, good. Okay, so welcome everyone. I offer my humble obeisance to all of you and welcome from my heart. So how is everyone doing today? Your schools have started back to normal routine? Good.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Anyone wants to share anything exciting, anything new, anything special? Today's Karina's birthday. I thought she'll be able to join so we can all wish her, but maybe she is celebrating with her family, which is nice, but at least we can all say Hare Krishna for her. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So may Lord Krishna give her good health, good bhakti, good education, good everything. That's it. So anyone wants to share anything special, anything new, anything different you did between this class and the previous one? I see all of you did nice homeworks about Hridid or volume. Is that correct?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, the good pranam.
Very bold. How about we start with a video which has just come fresh, very, very fresh. Shall we start with that? Okay. Since you all agree, let's start with a nice drama, which I'm also going to see this first time, but let's all see it together. And this is by very special devotees from Boston.
Because of human interaction with each other, problems are formed and solutions are made. There is a distraction and creation, there is happiness and distress. All of these are characteristics of material world. Therefore, in our interaction, not everything will happen the way we want it to be, and people will behave in ways that will be wrong. What to do then? Should we let anger and revenge take over? Or we should just let it go?
Run in the house. What do you not understand about it? You're so annoying after you do all my essay all over again. You don't have to be so upset. It's just a mistake. Take that. Girls. What is this? How many times have I told you both? Stop fighting. If you have any problem, talk it out. Don't touch each other. Don't fight. I've done this many times. I'm fed up. You guys don't change yourself, I'm going to make sure you guys change. No television for the next week. No talking. Very disappointing.
Tit for tat is clearly wrong. It ends up leading to a never-ending cycle of revenge. Let's see if tolerating will help.
I just did my entire essay, just finished it, it's due tomorrow. And now the entire thing is ruined. I'm gonna have to do it all over again. I'm sorry, I'll do something to make up for it. Yeah, just be careful next time. Because next time, instead of ruining this essay, it might be something valuable. I'm sorry, I won't run in the house again.
Girls, I'm so happy the way you guys figured out how to cope with this situation.
Instead of fighting and shouting like how you used to do before, now you guys are cooperating with each other. Can you see the difference in yourselves? You're so friendly now, right? And even I'm not screaming and shouting. No one's getting agitated in the house. There's so much of peace in the house. Thank you very much. Good job.
When we tolerate others, we'll see and be nice too. One good action will set off a chain reaction of nice behavior. Tit for tat will just lead to negative emotions of anger, revenge, and resentment, which will eventually lead to physical, mental, social, and emotional problems. So it is best to tolerate and be happy in a Krishna conscious life.
So how was it? I think it was excellent. So big applause to Mishti, Ethereal, and their whole family for doing this excellent short film depicting so well the difference between tit for tat and tolerating. So thank you. It was really good. Did everyone like it? Awesome. Yeah, please try to keep your cameras on so I can see and your hand recognition also works when you keep your cameras on. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Good. So thank you again. Let's begin. Did anyone learn any new words you want to share between this class and previous one? Any new words you learned? Anything new you learned you want to share with everyone? Okay. Did anyone raise your hand? I'm not seeing, or it's down. Okay. How about we talk about today? How many have I covered this topic, the culture of speech or austerity of speech? Have I covered this in the past? Like 1 year back? How many of you remember anything about it? How many of you were not there, or you don't remember you were there or not in the class, or you don't remember what was covered? Raise your hand. So most of you were not there. Please engage. I don't see. So there are only two options: either you remember or you don't remember, right? So we'll try to cover it, that topic today, and try to take some lessons about speech, because speech is very, very important, right? Speech is very, very important. And maybe if anyone wants to do a nice film, this is a very nice thing. This will engage your whole family. This will give you a lot of creativity. This will give you a lot of like video editing skill, which is a very great tool to learn these days. So these are excellent things and this will provoke your thoughts. Writing script is no easy thing, right? Is it easy, Mishti, Ethereal? Right? Writing the whole plot, who will speak, what they will speak, coordinating, orchestrating all the props and camera action. It's not easy thing even to make for 2 minutes, right? And by doing so, you will learn a lot, both material skills like video editing, script writing, and then you will also learn a lot of spiritual benefits. I was recently at His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's class. He said one very nice thing, right, which I want to share with everyone. What he said, let's see. Here's my whiteboard. Write it to write it. What does that mean? Even if we write a few words, writing helps to not only express our thoughts, it also helps to develop our thoughts. Whenever you have a dilemma, you're not sure what to do, you have two choices which seem equally good. I shared this with one of my friends who was asking me recently this question. I'll tell you, like, This is not our main topic for today, but since we are covering this, let's say, anytime you have to make a choice, correct? Anytime you have to make a choice, this is like a matrix or a table which will help you to make choices. Here is your choice one. Some of you will be going to colleges in next few years. Some of you might be changing schools. Some of you might be changing cities. These things happen, right? So let's call it college. College 1 or college 2, or city 1, city 2, or friend 1, friend 2. It could be multiple things. And then over here, you will write, let's say, college, right? You're choosing your college. Or you're choosing anything. Then discuss some facets, like how it will help in education. For a student, the main thing is education, right? How your studies, how is the education? Then how will it affect your family, right? Correct? Let's say, how will those aspects be there? Then your spiritual life is also very important. Spiritual or Krishna consciousness. You don't want to be in a place where the Krishna consciousness will be adversely affected, correct? And then it could be your health also. Let's say someone is picking a choice, but it will adversely affect their health, right? And then you can keep adding, these are different, like the choice, depending upon what choices you're making. Then what this will help you, and then you write, you will fill this based on, what dilemma you have. You will know, or you can at least get to know. This will help you make an informed decision, right? This will help you make an informed decision. Then later you will not say, oh, I didn't know that this place has, sub-zero temperature, and I didn't know about that. Well, it's your duty to get to know about it. Oh, I didn't know that this place, people in this college, almost 50% people take drugs. I'm just giving a random example, right? It's our duty to get to know as much as we can. Oh, I didn't know that there is no temple 100 miles in the proximity of this place. Well, did you do your research? Are you following this? Is it making sense? Right? I hope this will help. This was just a template I sometimes use when I'm in such certain situations like these. But this is not our main topic. I don't know how I got there, but our main topic is something else. It's about culture of speech. How many of you think speech is very, very powerful? It can do great things, and it can ruin things too. You agree? How many of you have felt that you spoke something and then later you felt, I should have not spoken that? How many of you had that point at some point in your life, right? I see almost everyone, right? How many of you feel that if you had the key to go in the past, you would change your words for certain situations, right? How many of you agree that the physical wounds heal fast, but the wounds spoken, given by words, heal much, are much more difficult to heal, right? How many of you agree? How many of you feel that the way he or she spoke to me was not appropriate? Anyone could be that person could be anyone. So you see, all these things have one thing in common, and the ability to speak. It can cause wonders. It can cause havoc also. How did Adolf Hitler motivate all his people to fight like adharma? Through power of speech. Speech is very, very powerful. The words carry a lot of power, the sound, and this is the organ, right? This is the main organ. We don't speak through our hands. We don't speak. We can clap, we can make some sound, but that doesn't make much sense, right? I cannot communicate much. Maybe I can give some signal, hey, and that too, if I tell, hey, Avani, when I clap, you play a video, right? But until I use my mouth, I can't even communicate. Can I communicate? Can you try this out? Like one day you can't use your mouth, you can't write things, or you can't speak. Try to communicate. How difficult it will be. Is it not? How many of you, how many of us, let's say, and I'm also included, took speech for granted? This, right? God has given us this ability to speak, correct? But often we forget that it's a blessing because many people don't have that ability, right? We forget the blessings of God. We're able to walk, we're able to use our hands, right? But often we forget that many people don't have hands or legs. So if God has given us this ability, that means He wants it to use in a certain way also, correct? And that He tells in Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is the manual of life, correct? So today that will be our main topic. And some of you know some of these verses also, which we're going to cover from the Bhagavad Gita. I'm going to share this on my screen as well. But let's begin with the joke. One time, there was a small doctor. Small means he had a small clinic, not height. In a small town, he had a clinic. And then a lot of people used to come. And, everyone wants to talk. So one person, came to the doctor's clinic and found that there was like 10 thermometers, which we use to get temperature, put in our mouth to get temperature, right? So this person asked, hey, sir, why do you have 10 thermometers? Okay, 1 or 2 is understandable. Why do you have like 10, 15 thermometers? He says, people come to my office, my clinic, and everyone wants to talk so much. I can't focus on my work. So as soon as they come, I put the thermometer in their mouth. and and then so they can, when you have thermometer in your mouth, you can't talk, right? So that was his trick to keep people quiet, so he can focus on his work. But let's see what Bhagavad Gita talks about in this regard. Is anyone willing to read this verse? Would someone like to read verse, and one devotee would like to read translation? Yes, Vedi and Mishti. Go ahead.
Arjuna Vacha Stita Pragnasya ka bhasha Samadhistasya Keshava Stita di kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. 2.54 Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Mishti?
Hare Krishna. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak, and what is his language? How does he sit, and how does he walk?
Very well, thank you. So Arjuna here is asking questions about a self-realized soul, Sthita Pragya, one who is fixed in his consciousness. And where? Fixed in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada writes here, who is fixed in bhakti. How does he speak? Now one may see, it's not like a literal meaning. They speak through their mouth only. It's obvious. What language? They're not talking, do they speak Hindi or Telugu or Punjabi or English or French? That's not the literal meaning, right? What's the literal meaning? Or the meaning is, what kind of qualities do they have? Let's read the purport also. Very, very nice purport. from here? Okay, let's read the whole thing. It's not too big. Who wants to read? Avni, please. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. As there are symptoms for each and every man in terms of his particular situation, similarly, one who is in Krishna consciousness has his particular nature, talking, walking, thinking, feeling, etc. As a rich man has his symptoms by which he is known as a rich man, as a diseased man has his symptoms by which he is known as diseased, or as a learned man who has his symptoms, so a man in transcendental consciousness of Krishna has specific symptoms in various dealings. One can know his specific symptoms from the Bhagavad Gita. Most important is how the man in Krishna consciousness speaks, for speech is the most important quality of any man. It is said that a fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak, and certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. The immediate symptom of a Krishna-conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and of matters relating to him. Other symptoms then automatically follow, as stated below. Haribol.
Very well. Would someone want to share what you read, heard from this? What is your take home? What did you like? Any reflection from this, what you read or saw on your screen? Does anyone remember anything from what Avani just read? Except Avani? Come on, this is not so hard, right? Were you all paying attention to what was spoken? What do you remember from the reading? We read a paragraph, right? Were you there? We read a paragraph just now.
Yeah.
What do you recall from there? What's your thing? Yes, Isha.
When a Krishna conscious man speaks, he reveals himself like he's about to speak, and he speaks about Krishna.
He speaks about Krishna. Very nice. Yes, Vedi.
In the paragraph, it talked about how each kind of person has their like symptoms and how those symptoms is how it's like a rich person is known by the stuff he has or owns, his wealth. A Krishna conscious person, his symptoms are the way like he talks and the way he acts with other jivas.
Very nice. So basically, everyone, like Prabhupada also mentioned, a fool is undiscovered until he or she speaks. Correct? That means how we talk, what kind of words we use, what kind of habits do we have, what kind of, do we do tit for tat or tolerate that, right? How do we greet others? How do we meet others? How do we share things with others or not? It speaks a lot about our character, right? How do we respect our parents? How do we respect our peers? How do we deal with the wrong things in life? This is all part of who we are, correct? But Prabhupada, here the question is, how does the Krishna consciousness person speak? Or how does it nice? Because Krishna conscious person means ideal human being. Prabhupada said, my devotees are ideal ladies, ideal students, ideal girls, ideal boys, ideal human beings. Now, let's take a little bit more here. I'm going to clear this. I hope everyone who wanted to make note of this have taken a note. Okay. Is everyone familiar with the graphs? X-axis, Y-axis, right? Okay, just consider this as a number line. You all know number line? What's in the center? Who knows? Okay, Athar, please tell what's in the center. Huh?
1, I think.
1. Okay, any other? One wants to try? Okay, type in, everyone will type in. What's in the center of the number line?
But is it 1 to 10 number line?
It's 0, right? And then here you have the positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, right? And it goes on, correct? It doesn't end. The last is, it keeps going infinite. Then there is negative side, -1, -2, right? You're all familiar with this? I don't know in what class they teach this, but I think most of you know this very well. So similarly, there is, we'll try to, let's divide this area. So we'll call this negative speech. Then neutral, well, that's pretty much like silence. And then there is positive. Okay. Give me examples here. Negative speech first. Who will give some examples? Can you all type in? Yes, Nishita, please tell others, keep typing. I'll try to add words here.
Like calling somebody out for like not being good at a subject at school.
Very nice. Hey, you are a fool. You're a failure, right? Right? Calling someone bad, right? Bullying, right? I heard bullying. Yes, a third.
Telling lies about someone.
The size of the screen. How do I reduce the font? Oh yeah, here. You all can still see it, right? Telling lie. Right? What else? Yes, some of them. Teasing, someone said. Spreading rumors. Yes, some of them. Please tell.
Cursing others or using curse words.
Using curse words, yeah, cursing. Hey, you're a failure. You are saying abusive words, right? That you are, talking harshly, right? Harsh words. Talking too loud. What's that called? Shouting, right? Right? What else? Too loud or shouting at others. There's a lot here. Speaking with ulterior motives. So we may be talking nicely, but we have a hidden agenda. Oh, Avni, you are so nice. You're the most beautiful. You do always homework timely. You do this. You are great. I've never seen a person like you in my life. But I have a hidden agenda. Right? Personal motives. That's also not good. Did everyone get this? I think you all are very, very intelligent too. Yes, Isha, what's on your mind?
Like doing bad actions, like stealing.
Yeah, but we're talking about the speech in particular. That's more about actions. That's absolutely correct. But here we're talking more about speech. So there's a lot more, but for now we'll keep it. And anything, speech too, or expressing like venting anger, right? Also shouting, similar. Then bring out the worst in others, or manipulative, right? Like spreading false informations and just for some personal motives and stuff. Gossiping, yeah. In Sanskrit, that's called prajalpa. So I think we all understand this quite well, right? I think all of you have very great understanding. What would be considered, neutral? It's pretty much silence, right? What's better than negative speech is better, or silence is better?
Silence.
How many of silence? Silence is better. That's absolutely correct. But silence is better than negative speech. But and many people, actually, in many spiritual or so-called spiritual organizations also, they put a mask. That I won't speak anything. Is that why God has given us this mouth? To keep silent? No. Certainly we should not be on the negative side, correct? But there is a whole positive domain. And let's learn from the Bhagavad Gita, what is that positive side? Okay, you want to learn? Who wants to know the positive aspects? Let's see, most of you want to know. Who's going to read this verse, and one person will read the translation, please? Who has not yet participated? Ishan, and then Sampada. Go ahead, please.
अनुद्वेगाकरं वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियाहितं च यत् स्वाध्याय व्यसनं च वन्मयं तपोच्यते. Hare Krishna. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you. How many of you know this verse? How many of you have learned it or memorized it at some point in your life? Because we covered it way back, maybe 1 year back. Okay, others, please try to memorize this also. And those who memorized like a year back, they can also try to revisit and read the verse in the purport. There's a nice purport also, very small, 1 paragraph. So please spend some time with this verse. Let's analyze this a little bit more. What is austerity of speech? Anudvega, to speak non-agitating words. Satyam, very easy. All of you know this. Satya means truth. We should speak truthful words. Priya. Priya means pleasing, kind, not agitating, not harsh, right? And hitam. Hitam means it should be beneficial. Hitkari. Hit means benefit. And the 4 things here. This is let's understand this. This number 1, anudvegakaram, non-agitating. Number 2, Satyam, Priya, pleasing. Number 3, right? Hitam. What does hitam mean? It should be beneficial. Swadhyaya abhyasana. That means regularly reciting the Vedic scripture. So 5 qualities are mentioned in this verse. Okay? It should be regularly, it's like Bhagavad Gita. It should be from scriptures. It's not just I feel, I say this. So now who is going to tell me those 5 things? Who's going to paraphrase that? I'll write it here just. Okay, who remembers? We discussed 5 things from 17:15 of Bhagavad Gita. Please tell one each, okay? Yes, Avani, then Ethereal, then Ishan. Everyone, and type in. And the last 2, everyone will type in. Let's see. Everyone type in also. Please tell.
Speaking words that aren't agitating.
That are or are not?
Aren't or not.
Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. So, non-agitating, right? Words. Very good. And what's the Sanskrit word for this? Who knows? Sampada, please tell.
Anudvega.
Anudvega. Very good. Anudvega karam. That means it should not agitate others. Who will tell next? Ethereal?
Speaking truthful, being like truthful.
Truthful, yes. What's the Sanskrit word here?
Satyam.
Satya, Satyam. Very good. Third? Who knows the third one?
I think it was beneficial.
It was pleasing, and the fourth was pleasing, or you can say kind. And the fourth was beneficial, or hitam. And the fifth one, anyone remembers? Yes, Nishita?
Reciting Vedic literature.
Reciting scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana, etc. Correct? Now, what's the most important among these 3? Satyam, Priyam, Hitam. Truthful, pleasing, and beneficial. Let's say you can pick one. You have to pick. You have to raise your hand in one thing. Okay, I'll ask. You have like 3 options. You can pick one. Hear my question carefully. What's the most important quality amongst Satyam, Priyam, Hitam? Truthful, pleasing, and beneficial. Truthful, pleasing, and beneficial. Raise your hand if you think Satyam is the most important. Truthful, it should be truthful. That's half of your cameras are off. So please, let's see how we go. Satyam is the most important thing, right? Okay, a few of you have your hands up. Good. Okay, now second one, which is this hand recognition. Put my hand up. So the second one is pleasing. Raise your hand if you think it should be pleasing. It should be kind. That's the most important thing amongst the 3. And raise your hand if you think if it should be beneficial. It should be hitam. That's the most important thing amongst the 3. Okay, most of you have raised your hand up, which is great. And actually, that's correct. Now, can you give me an example where some words, think of the situation, a sentence or a situation where it is pleasing, but it may not be truthful, or it may not be, where it is beneficial, but it may not be pleasing, or it may not be pleasing, or it may not be kind, but it's beneficial. Can anyone think of an example or a situation? Now, those who raised hand for the previous question can please put your hands down so I know. Lakshya, you want to say? Or was it for the previous one?
That's for the previous one.
Okay, Sampada, please tell.
So like in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjun was lamenting, then Krishna was kind of like scolding at Arjun, saying, "Asochinan vasochastam pragyavatamscha bhasase tadasunagatasumscha nanasochanti pandita," that you're talking very wisely, but you're not really acting very wise enough. You're acting like a fool. So I think that's beneficial, but not that good enough to sound.
Right. That's excellent. And that's what the purport also says. There, Arjuna was acting like a very intelligent person, but he had taken shelter of Krishna, and Krishna, being his guru, said, so the guru can tell this, right? The guru can tell even harsh, strict words if the disciple is surrendered, right? So Arjuna was completely surrendered. Can anyone tell one more situation, example? Yes, Vedi?
Like constructive criticism,
Constructive feedback.
it's always it's given, yeah, for feedback, and it may not always be what you want to hear. So it's not necessarily pleasing all the time, but it is beneficial for you.
Very good. That's yeah, it's beneficial. And the guru or the teacher who is genuine well-wisher, you know, they have the best intentions. We should even constructive feedback. Let's say an elder sister to a younger sister, or a parent to a child, or you know, you're all maybe teaching. It should have the right intentions, right motivation, right relationship. If someone is on the road, a stranger, and he or she is eating, let's say, you know, beef or eating non-veg, I won't go and say, hey, you're a fool, number one, you're a sinful person, stop eating this nonsense piece of meat, otherwise you'll go to hell. Is that correct on my part? What do you think? How many of you think it's the right thing to say to a stranger? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you think it's the right thing to say. Raise your hand if you think it's not a good idea. I think you're all very, very mature. Yeah, because even if I say, let's say, if I say, even if my intentions are right, the motivations are right, my words were not right, maybe my emotions were, I don't know, timing was not right, and relationship was practically zero. You say, who the hell are you? Get out. Mind your own business. Let me live. It's my money, it's my mouth, it's my belly, it's my body. Who are you? Get out, right? But at the same thing, if I tell, let's say, Avani, I think, you know, there is something you can do better. You're really good at these things, right? You're really good at these things. I really appreciate the way you do these things, but there's also an area for improvement, right? That you can improve. Will she take it nicely? Right? Because there is some relationship, right? As a teacher, or as a parent, or as a brother, as a sister, or as a friend, right? And the example is given of the letter and the envelope. Here are some qualities. Speech in the mode of goodness. If you want, you can take screenshots also. Let's read one or two qualities each, or maybe like 5 each. One will read the first 5, and the one will read the next 5. Who wants to read the first 5? Okay, Vinita.
Hare Krishna. So number 1, spoken with humility, without expectation of any material benefit, spoken with faith in scriptures, done with intention for others' benefit, and done with proper consideration of time, place, and circumstance. Hare Krishna.
And this is powerful, right? If we can apply these things in our life, you'll never have a fight. Everyone will respect you, and you'll respect everyone. Isn't that powerful? Who wants to read the next 5? Lakshay.
Should I read number 6 to 10, Guruji?
Correct.
Okay. Mindful of past and future in accordance to Dharma. When in doubt, consult. It reflects clear 7. It reflects clear understanding and clear thinking, clear head. 8. Spoken calmly. Sattvic speech leads to happiness. 9. Refined, not coarse or harsh. 10. In case one speaks something wrong, feels embarrassed and apologizes.
How many of you think this is like very, very powerful points? I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm reading this again, maybe 10th time. Every time I read it, it's like so good to read because we forget, right? So the point is, all these are very important. Humility, spoken with good intention, spoken calmly, refined language, right? Refined language. It's a language is how we tell about who we are. You know, we can communicate one message in 10 different ways, correct? Who's going to do a small drama? Maybe if 2 of you. Mr. Ethereal, can you do this like an impromptu? Communicate the same thing, but in different moods or intentions. If let's say you have to tell, I'll give a situation, maybe all of you try this. If Mishti has to tell Ethereal that Mishti needs a glass of water, right? Okay, let's see what are the different ways you can communicate this from like good, bad, worse. Try different things. Can you try this? Or I'm putting you on spot. If you're feeling uncomfortable, we can ask someone else.
Okay, Prabhuji, I can do it if you want.
Yes, let's see.
Okay. So I guess
Yeah, get a little close to the camera so the voice is not fainting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like a good way would be like, Victoria, could you please get me a glass of water? But I guess in mode of passion is like, Ethereal, get me a glass of water now. And if I'm like really mean, then Ethereal, you better get me a glass of water, unless I'll do something to you. Unless I won't play with you.
Very good. Very good. I think it's a perfect drama script, right? Try to explore, right? The more you churn this, right? The more you means everyone. I'm not talking about Mishti Ethereal. You means all of you. The more you absorb these things, take some like, let's see, what about boastful or passionate speech? Who wants to read this? Ishan?
Boastful speech out of pride blows one's own trumpet for gaining material benefit / pleasure with intense emotions, lacks physical and moral purity, ridiculing others, seeking favor of people for influence and power.
Does everyone get these? These are important points. You can take screenshot or note. I mean, these are some things we should go over and over because, I mean, I'm talking about myself, that we need to remind ourselves. If I'm an elder brother, sister, just because I have extra power, that doesn't mean I'll be disrespectful, right, to someone. Because everyone is elder to someone and younger to someone, right? Same in the office, right? Someone could be a manager. That doesn't mean that they will, demean others. Hey, I'm superior to you because I'm your boss. You better do this, otherwise, intense emotion, intense anger, passion, right? Intense. Why are you not doing this? 100 times I've told you this, right? Intense emotion. You're good for nothing, making absolute statements. You always do like this, right? Let's see. Ignorance. Who wants to read this? Yes, Viraj Vinayak, please. Let's read first 5 points.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavot Pranam. 1. Speech made in anger, hatred, excessive arrogance, jealousy, lamentation, and foolishness. 2. Done with intention to hurt others. 3. Done without consideration of time, place, and circumstances. 4. Lacks clarity, confused, or rambling. And 5. Untruthful.
Yeah. Good speech is always concise also. It is said, if it takes you like 5 sentences to communicate one message, that means you need to improve on that. Sometimes, someone may speak 10 sentences because these days, especially, the attention span is so small. You agree? Because, one more good like nugget here. When we are speaking or when other is speaking, what are we doing? We are waiting for our turn to speak. 99%, right? Rather than trying to digest that and absorb that, most people are waiting for our, which is not a great thing, where we are comprehending what I will speak. But the lesson here is that when I'm speaking, I should be brief, correct? If it's a class going on, if it's like a monologue, but if like 2 people are speaking, one should not speak for like 5 or 10 minutes and not giving others chance. God has given us one mouth, 2 ears. That means hear more, speak less. When we are speaking, we are not learning. You agree? When we are hearing, at least from the good people, good sadhu sangha, hearing or reading, we're using the knowledge acquiring senses, right? Eyes, ears primarily. We are learning, correct? It could be reading, it could be hearing. But when we are speaking, we are passing on what we have learned, correct? Or what we already know. We can't learn from while we are speaking. You agree with this? Therefore, we should use our ears more and mouth less. And only use it when required. Otherwise, silence is better. If we can't speak good, at least don't speak bad. But God has given us this mouth to use in the mode of goodness or pure goodness. Let's read the next 5 for the ignorance. Who wants to read this? Prapti, Haley, want to try?
Okay. Not mindful of past and future without care of scriptural injunctions. Coarse language leads to extreme distress and no sense of embarrassment when wrong speech uttered.
Does this all points make sense, or does anything need more explanation? Anything which is not clear, or you want me to give some example or anything? Because all these are very important points. Not mindful of past or future. In this one, it was opposite. In the first one, mindful of past and accordance with their past and future. Can someone give some situation or example? What does it mean, mindful in the mode of goodness and not mindful in the mode of ignorance? Who would like to give some situation or example of this? Yes, Avani, please go ahead.
I've actually seen this happen before. So there's somebody in my grade, and her mom is dead, and there's this one person, he knew about it, but I guess they were in a fight, and he said something very, very, very rude to her about that, and it was really bad. And he didn't care about her past and that.
Right. Very good situation. And even if sometimes we may have good intentions, but for let's say someone, due to some accident or some unforeseen event, their father is no more or their mother is no more. And hey, you're wishing your friend, hey, happy Father's Day. Like how they would feel. You have good intentions, but maybe you forgot. If it's the first time you didn't know, it's a separate situation. But if it's your friend, you would know that, right? You would know that his or her father is no more living, correct? And then it's not good to wish them happy Father's Day. It will make them cry. It will bring out the bad emotions. Are you all following this? Not too hard to comprehend. Same, this is the situation, mindful of past. Mindful of future, who can give an example? Mindful is also aware, like awareness. For example, many times, if who can give think of an example of mindful of future? If I give a big promise, if let's say you give me a promise or you give your words, Prabhuji, tomorrow I'm going to learn 100 verses of Gita, or tomorrow, or I will get this done by next week, right? So giving words, not knowing what it really means. Do you think it's feasible in by 1 week? Do you think you have the right skills and the techniques and the time to do it? Right? So one should analyze this, right? It could be, it could not be, but a person would analyze. In Hindi they say, "Pehle tolo, fir bolo." What does it mean? Tolo means to analyze, to weigh. What I'm going to speak, how will it impact someone? How will it impact me? Correct? This is the big thing. But the point is that it is very, very powerful. What do you think? How is it going so far? There's a lot of, I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of information. Let's do some processing. Is everyone liking it? Anything you're learning new or anything helpful? Or let's take some thoughts. Next time we'll do Kahoot. I don't want to hurry. I want to process this a little bit. Share something, 1 or 2 reflections from what you learned today. Anyone wants to share? And half of your cameras are off. I don't know why. And half of you don't participate. I don't know why. I mean, please engage if possible, verbally, right? Use your speech. It's the right time to use your speech, or at least through words. So please type in one thing, one reflection, 1 or 2 sentences. Or if you want to speak, a few devotees can speak also. I want to hear from all of you. Any comment, any reflection, anything, your take-home message for today. Yes, Sahas, and then Vinita, please.
It's better to not speak than speak bad.
Very good. Yes, silence is better than speaking bad. Very good. But the positive side is that we have to learn gradually to utilize it in the right way. Think of time, place, and timing. Timing also is very important. Let's say if I pick one of you and give constructive feedback right in front of 20 others, who is going to like it? I will give constructive feedback. I have good intentions. I'm your well-wisher. I'll speak nicely. I'll not be harsh, but who will like in front of 20 others? Raise your hand if you're going to like it. Raise your hand if you would prefer that this feedback should have been given, in front of maybe one-on-one, right? Raise your hand if you prefer one-on-one feedback rather in front of 20 people. You may feel embarrassed. If I pick, hey, why are you late always of the class? It's important to be on time, but why are you always late? It's not good, right? So timing is also important. Yes, Vinita?
Hare Krishna. I like the point of a fool is undiscovered until he opens his mouth.
Until he or she opens their mouth, yes. Very nice. And then in this way, we don't have to judge others. We can always learn that when to speak, when not to speak. Because some people, we will see, they're always in the passionate speech, boastful. You know what I have done, you know what I can do, you know what my father is, you know what my grandfather is, right? We don't have to judge others, but at the same time, we can understand that this is not what I have to do. Everyone is teaching us something, things to do and things not to do. Okay, so please try to focus on this. There's a lot of content here. And then again, use your creativity to do something meaningful out of it. You want to write a script, you want to record a video. I mean, even if you don't know video editing, don't worry. Just use your camera. All your parents have phones. You can use something to do something meaningful. You have friends, you have siblings. Then use something. If you want to, if you prefer writing, you can write. If you prefer doing something on video, audio, do something meaningful. My goal is to that you come up with something. Sky is the limit, and I'm not constraining you or restraining that you have to do this only or that only. You can write articles, you can write drama, you can do drama, you can do examples of different things or situations. You can write essay, you can write a scene, you can draw a cartoon or whatnot. I mean, there's so much. You can make a presentation. So, and if 1715 verse 1215, 1715. If you have learned 1715, you can go to 1215. If you have not learned 1715, then first learn that. If you have learned both, so 1715, 1215, 254 in that order. Learn one at least in that order. 1715, 1215, 254. Does it make sense? Any questions before we pause? All good? Happy? Healthy? Okay then, so thank you again for your time. I hope it was meaningful. I offer my humble prostrated obeisance to all of you. And thank you again for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaved Kaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hari Bol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.